This is the Caitlin Clark commercial just released earlier this morning. Caitlin Clark is proof that you can make it from anywhere.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there?
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here? Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there.
No chance.
Caitlin, mamita, what? You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caitlin, from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Spring 26. Nike just dropped the launch date for Caitlin Clark's signature shoe. Think that timing's accidental? Think again. That release window hits smack dab in the middle of what might become the WNBA's inaugural work stoppage. Their collective bargaining agreement runs out October 25, and currently, no agreement exists. Meaning, Nike's poised to launch the most hotly anticipated basketball shoe in recent years during a possible lockout. Shador.
I like this. You got the Michael Che, you got the Jason and Travis Kelce, you got the Travis Scott, you got cameos. But finally, we have a Caitlin Clark commercial dedicated solely to Caitlin Clark, and these other stars are there to just prop her up. She's not playing second fiddle like the Super Bowl commercial. This is a solely Caitlin Clark Nike basketball commercial. In case you guys don't know what I was talking about, this hoodie right here, that's the hoodie that I got her. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like this. I do like this commercial. I do like this commercial.
Observe the empire Nike is constructing. Dick's Sporting Goods has innovated, crafting a full website section exclusively for Caitlin Clark gear, not simply a product list. A complete branded world, Caitlin's Court. Presenting hoodies, sweatpants, training tools, basketballs, and clothing already flying off Target's virtual shelves pre-release. This contrasts Nike's standard athlete merchandise launch. This mirrors the LeBron model. This echoes the Jordan strategy, and it's being deployed for a player fresh from her debut season.
Whatever, Che.
From right here.
From there!
Boys wanna be her, the girls wanna be her,
From anywhere.
girls wanna be her.
Nice. Way to go, Nike. Way to go. Caitlin Clark's anticipated Nike signature shoe is expected to launch in spring 2026. Nike signature roster features all-time greats, and I am incredibly proud to join some of the best athletes in the world. I'm excited to share a first look at what we've created together. Signature shoe expected to launch in spring 2026, right in time for the lockout.
Re-examine this advertisement and observe the production quality. This isn't merely a hastily produced social media clip. It's genuinely cinematic. Several different locations, a roster of celebrities, skilled cinematography. The type of budget Nike saves for their truly elite athletes like Shador. And consider the launch date, Christmas morning. That's intentional. Nike is positioning Caitlin Clark as a fundamental franchise athlete. The sort around whom you construct an entire marketing strategy during the year's most lucrative advertising
of the WNBA season. Right in time for the season. Oh wait, there might not be a season. Oh snap. Oh. Now the question is, is Nike going to be putting pressure behind the scenes? Is Nike going to be putting pressure behind the scenes on the NBA to make sure that this launch gets as much cashola as possible?
Let's delve into Nike's unspoken, yet undeniable, awareness. The WNBA Players Association is signaling a potential opt-out from the existing CBA. Players are demanding increased revenue sharing, improved travel, elevated salaries, and are prepared to forfeit the 2026 season to achieve these aims. Consider Nike's significant investment in Caitlin Clark and Shador. The comprehensive signature shoe launch, the Dick's Sporting Goods collaboration. All of it risks launching into a silent season, devoid of games for marketing initiatives.
Dare I say, this actually shows some creativity? Dare I say this Caitlin Clark is proof that you can make it from anywhere is brilliant? Let's take a look. Make it from anywhere, of course. Of course, at face value, anywhere on the court. She's hitting logo threes. She's hitting shots from Nova Scotia. Of course. From anywhere. a kid from Des Moines, Iowa, making it. You can make it from anywhere. Where are you from? Are you from a small town in Arkansas? You can make it.
Here's the unique element. This commercial distinguishes itself sharply from Caitlin's other Nike ventures. She commands center stage entirely. Aja Wilson isn't co-starring. There's no shared limelight like a Super Bowl ad. This is solely her showcase. Her slogan, Hermo Michael Chi, Jason Kelce, Travis Scott, their background players, their role is to elevate her. To question her range, can you make it from there? As Shedeur effortlessly sinks shots from the most improbable spots. And that slogan, you can make it from anywhere, resonates profoundly. Certainly, she nails logo threes. But moreover, she's transformed from a small-town Iowa kid into women's basket
Court collection, where it gives you all, introducing Caitlin's court, where it gives you all of the Caitlin Clark stuff. You got the hoop, you got the train, you got the hang. All dedicated to Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever, women's attire. That's pretty badass. Look at all that. CC, the logo, the shoes, the fleeces. Yeah, these two right here. Yeah, I mean, that's not nothing, folks. That's definitely.
Here's where this gets interesting from a business perspective. Nike has already locked Caitlin into an 8-year, $28 million deal. That's the contract. But the real money, the generational wealth money, comes from signature shoe royalties. If her shoe performs like a Kobe or a LeBron, we're talking about earnings that dwarf her WNBA salary by factors of 10 or 20. Her entire Indiana Fever salary for 2024 was $76,000. Her Nike deal averages $3.5 million per year. And if this shoe hits, if it becomes what Nike clearly believes it will become, she could be pulling in $8 to $10 million annually just for
a bit in the test lab, no blood, no foul. This commercial gives me some old importance, like a little bit of Nike aura to this. One more time.
Hey, Caitlin! Can you make it from there?
And we got the tagline, from anywhere. I mean, come on.
Hey, Caitlin, how about from here? Come on, guys.
Yeah, she can't make it from there.
No chance.
Caitlin, from me to left. You got it. I'm not even gonna ask.
Hey, Caleb from here might be impressive. Am I right?
Dive into Dick's Sporting Goods merchandise playbook. Navigate their website beyond the usual suspects and you'll find the Caitlin Clark collection. Hoodies, sweatpants, training gear. Each piece proudly displays her logo. Each item positioned as top-tier quality. This isn't exiled to a bargain bin or hidden amongst team apparel. This is prime real estate. Featured prominently, the space usually given to established icons with a history of sales. Dick's is wagering that Caitlin Clark merchandise will rival sales volume of male NBA heavyweights. A huge retail gamble before her signature shoe even hits the shelves. Shedeur.
Nothing. Spring 2026. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Merry Christmas, man. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving the channel before the season, during the season, after the season, now during the lull period, throughout this potential lockout, the CBA negotiations. I appreciate you guys, especially in the comment section, wishing me a Merry Christmas, wishing me a congratulations. If you know, you know. Caitlin Clark, signature shoe.
However, all of that is irrelevant if the WNBA season is canceled. This is precisely where Nike's and the league's goals completely harmonize. Nike's commitment extends beyond Caitlin. They serve as the official apparel provider for numerous WNBA teams and maintain endorsement agreements with several prominent players. A labor dispute doesn't solely affect the WNBA. It directly undermines Nike's investment in women's basketball, particularly during a period of extraordinary growth in the sport. Thus, the inquiry arises, does Nike intervene? Do they exert subtle influence to facilitate an agreement? History suggests they might, as they did during the NBA lockouts of 1998 and 2011. Nike engaged in discreet negotiations through relationships with team owners and league leaders. With billions invested in basketball, they act.
Whatever, Che.
We're right here.
From there!
The boys wanna be her, the girls wanna be her.
From anywhere.
Girls wanna be her, the boys wanna be her.
All right, well, looks like she can do it.
All right. I know we've been on Nike's neck as of lately.
The trading card market is already responding. Caitlin Clark's Pinnacle Chronicle collection sold out at Target within hours, not days, hours, and these aren't cheap impulse purchases. These are premium collectibles priced at $40 to $60 per pack. And collectors are buying them in bulk, betting that her cards will appreciate in value the same way LeBron's rookie cards did. The secondary market is already pricing her rookie cards at 5 to 10 times their retail value, which signals that investors believe her commercial appeal has staying power beyond just the rookie year hype cycle. Here's what makes this situation particularly complicated for the WNBA Players Association. On one hand, they're negotiating for better compensation and working conditions, which is absolutely justified given the league's recent revenue growth. Attendance is up 48% year over year. Media rights deals are being renegotiated at significantly higher valuations. The players deserve a larger share of that revenue. But on the other hand, their leverage in negotiations is directly tied to star power, and specifically to Caitlin Clark's star power. The uncomfortable truth is that Caitlin Clark drove a disproportionate amount of the WNBA's growth in 2024. Indiana Fever attendance jumped from 4,000 per game to 17,000 per game, not because of league-wide improvements, because of one player. National TV ratings for Fever games averaged 1.4 million viewers. Non-Fever games averaged 400,000. That's not a marginal difference. That's a 3-to-1 ratio. So when the Players Association sits down to negotiate, they're arguing for revenue sharing based on growth that one player disproportionately generated. And that creates tension within the union itself. Because veteran players who have been in the league for 10 years, who fought for visibility when nobody cared, who played in empty arenas for poverty wages, they're now watching a rookie come in and immediately reap the benefits of infrastructure they built. That's not Caitlin's fault. She didn't create that dynamic, but it exists. And it complicates the solidarity that labor negotiations require. Now bring Nike back into this equation. Nike's investment isn't in the WNBA broadly. It's in specific players and specifically in Caitlin Clark. If the season gets canceled, Nike doesn't lose equally across their roster. They lose disproportionately on their biggest bet, which means they have disproportionate motivation to ensure the season happens. And that creates an interesting power dynamic. Because Nike can't negotiate directly with the Players Association, but they can absolutely influence team owners and league executives who can. Think about what leverage looks like in that scenario. Nike calls an owner and says, "We're planning a $50 million marketing campaign around the signature shoe launch." That campaign assumes there's a season to market around. If there's no season, we're reallocating that budget to other sports. That's not a threat, that's just business reality. But it's also pressure. Because team owners need Nike's investment. They need the visibility that comes from having their players in national advertising campaigns. They need the retail partnerships that drive merchandise revenue. So does Nike make that call based on their history? Yes, they made similar calls during NBA lockouts. They made calls during NFL labor disputes. They're not passive investors. They're active stakeholders who protect their investments through relationship management and strategic pressure. And right now, they have more invested in women's basketball than at any point in their history. Watch that commercial one more time and pay attention to the production choices. The locations aren't generic, they're iconic. The celebrity cameos aren't random, they're strategic. Jason and Travis Kelce bring NFL crossover appeal. Travis Scott brings music and youth culture credibility. Michael Chi brings comedy and late-night television reels. Nike is positioning Caitlin Clark, not as a women's basketball star, but as a mainstream cultural figure who happens to play women's basketball. That's the Jordan model. That's how you transcend your sport. And the Make It From Anywhere tagline isn't just about basketball, it's about aspiration. It's about kids in small towns who don't have access to elite training facilities or AAU circuits. It's about the kid in rural Arkansas or Louisiana or Iowa who sees themselves in Caitlin's story. That's powerful marketing. That's the kind of emotional connection that sells shoes for decades. Not just seasons, but all of that emotional connection, all of that cultural positioning, all of that marketing infrastructure requires games to market around. It requires highlights to clip for social media. It requires playoff runs to build narratives. It requires a functioning league. And right now, that's not guaranteed. The spring 2026 launch date suddenly looks less like a marketing decision and more like a calculated risk. Nike is betting that the WNBA and the Players Association will find a way to get a deal done. They're betting that their investment, their pressure, their relationships will help push negotiations toward resolution. They're betting that the financial incentives for all parties, players included, will outweigh the desire to make a statement through a work stoppage. But what if they're wrong? What if the Players Association decides that long-term equity is worth short-term pay? What if they're willing to sacrifice a season to secure better revenue sharing for the next decade? Then Nike launches the most anticipated basketball shoe in years into a dead market. No games to showcase the product. No highlights to drive social media engagement. No playoff runs to build emotional investment. Just a shoe sitting on a shelf at Dick's Sporting Goods with no cultural moment to attach it to. That's the risk. And it's a massive risk for a company that just committed 8 years and $28 million to one player. Plus whatever they're spending on marketing, plus whatever they're investing in retail partnerships, plus whatever they're allocating for celebrity endorsements and commercial production. We're talking about a total investment that likely exceeds $100 million when you factor in all the ancillary costs. So here's the real question, the one that matters more than the shoe design or the commercial creativity or the retail strategy. Does Nike have enough leverage to influence the outcome of CBA negotiations? Can they apply enough pressure through enough channels to ensure that spring 2026 isn't a dead launch window? Because if they can't, if the players walk and the season gets canceled, then this entire rollout becomes a case study in what happens when corporate investment outpaces labor stability. And that's the tension that nobody's talking about publicly, but everyone's thinking about private. Nike needs the WNBA more than they ever have before. The WNBA players need Nike's investment to justify their salary demands. The league needs both to continue growing, but right now those interests aren't perfectly aligned. They're close but not perfect, and in labor negotiations, close isn't good enough. So watch what happens over the next 6 months. Watch whether Nike starts making public statements about their commitment to women's basketball. Watch whether they announce additional investments or partnerships. Watch whether league executives start talking more optimistically about CBA negotiations. Because those will be the signals that Nike is applying pressure behind the scenes. That's how corporate influence works. Not through public demands, but through private conversations and strategic investments that create incentives for the